Today on the channel, we got the guy going for the award of the most naked action figure in 2026 with the Target Legends Series 29 2-in-1, Curt Hennig.
The spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Target Legends Series 29 Elite exclusive. This time, a 2-in-1 figure with Curt Hennig, aka Mr. Perfect. But for all your Target Legends needs, better head to Target. But for everything else under the sun, hit up Ringside Collectibles. Use discount code Kyle. Save yourself 10%. Got to get a deal out there. And what can you say about Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig? One of the all-time greats, one of my favorite performers ever. A proud member of the Heenan family once upon a time. Love that we're getting more Mr. Perfect Curt Hennig figures, and this one is a deep cut in some ways not. But this is officially a Curt Hennig figure, not Mr. Perfect, even though this is a 2-in-1. And for most people, they know Legends Series 29 began the first series in a long, long time where there was no chase to chase after. So no chase in Legends 29. But Mattel, in my brain at least, is I convinced myself that they're throwing us a bone here. Yes, a bone, Todd McFarlane. And they said, well, there might not be a chase, but we're going to make a 2-in-1 Curt Hennig Mr. Perfect. And that's what they did right here. So I am here for that. I love the idea of that. Makes people, if you're a hardcore Curt Hennig Mr. Perfect fan, get multiples of this one here, and we'll display both looks in this video, as I did pick up 2 of these, of course. And we're going to dive into this review like we do all the other reviews on the channel. We're going to take a look at the packaging, we're going to talk about it, we're going to unbox it, we're going to talk about it, we're going to see where it goes from there. And this guy wins the 2026 Tyler Bate Award from last year, being the most naked wrestler of all time that has clothes on, is what it looks like here. Looks like Curt just has his belt on, a couple of knee pads and boots, and a smile on his face, and that's all he needs. He's ready to take on all comers. All comers. Love the looks of this one, though. It's old school Curt Hennig. If I could only display one way, that's the way I would go, old school Curt Hennig. Love the looks of this, and a lot of fun accessories in here. 8 and up, Curt Hennig, WWE, Legends 29. Curt Hennig on the side of the package. Curt Hennig on the side of the package. Then on the back, got the cross sell down below. We're unboxing all those on the channel. Got the tail of the tape, got the blurb, got the glamour shot. Let's see what it says about Curt Hennig. Titles: Intercontinental Champion, AWA World Heavyweight Champion, and he does come with the AWA title. We're going to get into that as well. Before he joined WWE as Mr. Perfect, cool Curt Hennig was a fresh-faced fan favorite in the Minnesota territory known as AWA. Son of the legendary Larry the Axe Hennig, who was a super nice guy I met on multiple occasions. He defeated Nick Bockwinkel for the AWA World Heavyweight Championship at Super Clash in 1987. And who did he lose it to? Jerry Lawler? I think he lost it to Lawler. Was that when Lawler wore all white, or was that against Kerry Von Erich? It gets fuzzy sometimes, but absolutely would love to see an all-white Jerry Lawler. Get me that, Mattel. Can we get that sooner rather than later? Hopefully we can. Hopefully we can. Curt Hennig, see you later, goodbye. Plastic Curt Hennig prison, locked up in the plastic prison. We're going to get these twist ties out. Of course, it wouldn't be Mattel without twist ties. 4 days, and maybe months, years, decades at this point, as we know the Elite line's been going on to start of the 16th year, if we can believe that. Whoa, losing stuff left and right. Twist ties, all kinds of stuff. Got some extra hands here with Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig. And they don't want to come out very easily. There we go, crunch, crunch. Spider-Man style, see you later, goodbye. Come on. There we go. All right, down to business. See you later, goodbye. Once again, let's dive into this one. Let's start with the accessories. How about you got 2 splayed out hands here ready to go. You got 2 Fist of Fury ready to go as well. And then 2 gripping hands out of the package. So you do get that going on. Now you do get his towel, his rally towel, maybe. We've had towels many a times in the Elite line. Obviously good reuse, which makes sense. Got this here. This is more Mr. Perfect to me, though, than Curt Hennig, but go either way. It doesn't really matter there. Now, we're going to dive into this title belt here. We'll get to that singlet here in a little bit, but we're going to dive into the AWA title belt. Always fun to get a new title belt in the Mattel Elite line. This, though, is not the first time we've gotten the AWA belt in action figure form, and guess what? We just recently got one a year, 2 years ago, Todd McFarlane. What is time once again? I have that over here, right here. We got it from our good friends over at Powertown. You remember Powertown? Anybody know about Powertown? I was very fortunate. I got invited to Powertown's Christmas big shindig. It was a huge Christmas party. I brought Todd as my +1. Check out the toy news on the channel a couple of weeks ago if you want all the gory details of that. Got to celebrate there. Also got to celebrate their New Year's Eve extravaganza. The band Opus performed their hit song Life is Live, or Live is Life. Which one is it? They performed that 5 times in a row. It was a wild, wild scene. I was here for it. I was here for it all day long and twice on Sunday. Maybe, maybe not. But we did get a Powertown AWA title once upon a time. Nowhere near the size of this one, though. The Mattel one is very oversized, very big, but it was a fairly big title belt. Pros and cons with each of them here. I probably prefer the Mattel just barely, but the Powertown one's not terrible. Not terrible. And I believe this came with Verne Gagne. Kind of naturally makes sense it would come with Verne Gagne. But it's nice to get this title for the first time in the Mattel line. And the cool thing about this one is, especially if you're like me, you're buying 2 of these Curt Hennings, well, you got 1 extra belt to put on somebody else, and you could easily put that on our old friend Larry Zbyszko if you wanted to. When I was a little kid, that's who the AWA champion was. It was Larry Zbyszko. He always had that title on ESPN. If you're older than me, you remember in the heyday of Verne Gagne and the Crusher and Mad Dog and Nick Bockwinkel and all that kind of stuff. But for me, when I started watching, it was Larry Zbyszko. So for good or for bad, either way there. You could also stick it on Hulk Hogan. I got to think there's some Hulk Hogan fans watching this. He was AWA champion. Have to imagine Mattel, though, will get the most out of their mold. They will give us a Hulk Hogan AWA probably sometime this year, maybe next year. We'll wait and see what happens with that. But now we're diving into Curt Hennig here. Like I said, a 2-in-1 figure with this one. We do get the soft goods singlet. Not over the moon on singlets being soft good. I don't know about you guys. You know, soft goods are very difficult. Like a t-shirt works pretty good most of the time, but when you add coats and jackets and hats with soft good, it doesn't always work out, and most of the time it doesn't. I would say the same thing about the soft goods singlets. Maybe work on the Superstars line fairly well, but not necessarily on this. However, that being said, I do like getting this kind of Skittle green color, lime green color singlet that was very famous for him once upon a time. So we do get that in soft goods department, and I do have one all ready to go. I opened it up right before I unboxed this right here. So we do have one to display right side by side. I don't know, a little baggy, a little strange. It's nice to have. It just looks a little bit off to me. Maybe that's just me, though. You sound off in the comments down below your thoughts, but I'm going to display him with the towel and in this, but I don't know, not my favorite version of Mr. Perfect here with that soft goods singlet. I appreciate the attempt, just didn't really stick the landing, at least in my opinion. But this one here, this is the way I would prefer. If I could only buy one or choose between them, I would go this one because we've had a lot of Mr. Perfects throughout the lines. We've had a few Curt Hennings as well, obviously, for the Monday Night Wars. But I do like the looks of this Mr. Perfect, but it doesn't get much plainer from this. Curt Hennig, very plain once upon a time. He was just a young whippersnapper Curt Hennig, teaming up with Big Scott Hall a time or two. Have to think we might get that. Maybe we're going to get a AWA revival here in the next couple of years from Mattel. We'll see what happens there. But we're going to dive into the head sculpt. It's okay. I know who this is. It's Curt Hennig for sure. Got the long hair there. Not as blonde as it got later on in his career. Probably dyeing, obviously. A little bit more of a brown color here. But looking good. His head does look a little bit like a stack of mashed potatoes, though. He does got a little of that look to him. But it is Curt Hennig, Mr. Perfect. Got the bare arms going on. Got the bare chest. No shirt, anything like that. You do got the white wrist tape. I do got some paint splatter onto the forearms. I am missing a lot of paint on the wrist tape here. So quality issues continue with Mattel, and it's interesting how they've been seemingly getting better as far as the articulation issues we've had, and now it's leaning towards more paint issues. So just can't get that perfect mix for whatever reason. We do got the black trunks here, a little bit of white on the back there, black knee pads, plain Jane, white boots, plain Jane. So if you're a customizer, you need a bare bones customization figure, this isn't a bad piece of business here. First thing I look at this, I think of like Brad Armstrong. Of course, WCW staple Brad Armstrong. Grab Brad Armstrong head, put it on this body, voila, you got a Brad Armstrong figure. And there's a lot of guys you could make into this if you wanted to. Arms all the way around on this one, bicep cut, double jointed pinless elbows, hands back and forth side to side, head removable back and forth side to side, ab crunch nice and tight, waist articulation looking good. Ooh, tight in the legs, but we can do the splits there. Hard to get back together, very, very tight in the hips. Leg goes up, a little Vietnam bounce back, but we've seen way worse than that. Thigh cut, double jointed, pinless knees playing the hits for him. Boot cut, and then you get the ankles up, down, back and forth, side to side. It is Curt Hennig, AWA Champion Edition. Let's just keep that ball rolling. Let's get the rest of those AWA champions. How about? Does fit on a Mattel ringside collectible stand using code Kyle, save 10%. Not with that foot. Let's see here. Can we get him on? Doesn't want to fit on. There we go. Didn't want to fit on a stand. A little loose in the boots as well for him. But there it is. Curt Hennig. Straighten him out. Not easy to do, let me tell you. And there it is. Curt Hennig and Mr. Perfect. A 2-in-1 figure. If you had to chase Fever, you could settle that Fever down a little bit with an extra Mr. Perfect in your collection. Not a bad piece of business here. And heck, we get a Bobby Heenan. You could throw him with there if you wanted to. Have a manager for Mr. Perfect in Legends 29. All in all, pretty fun. I like a deep cut. I like getting this new title belt. Like I said, I can give this one to Larry Zbyszko. There's a lot to do and a lot to like about this one. There's a lot of extra value. Just not going to be for everybody. I can see somebody saying, I got a better Mr. Perfect than the one in the singlet here. And I don't know anything about the AWA. It's way before my time. I don't need it. We'll see where it goes, but could be a clearance favorite in the future, and I wouldn't be opposed to picking another one of these up just to get some more AWA title belts to put with other characters in the future. So we'll see what happens with that as well. But Curt Hennig, AWA Champion Edition, Legends 29. What's your guys' thoughts? This one a pick up for you? Long game, no game, hard pass game? Let me know in the comments down below. Of course, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the old notification bell as we got videos every single day. And then some. We got even more content for you on Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. Sir Paul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and The Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com, which is the name of my podcast, The Kyle Peterson Show. Available every single Tuesday wherever podcasts are found with video cast on YouTube. So for Mr. Perfect, Curt Hennig, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Well, are we going to dance or are we going to play?
We're going to